I wasn't even planning to go on that trip. Spring break had just started, and I honestly just wanted to stay home, catch up on sleep, maybe work a few shifts and save money. But my friends had already booked everything, flights, the house, all of it, and they kept pushing me to come. Bro, you're seriously not coming? It's literally a beach house. 5 days, no classes, you're gonna regret it. So yeah, I gave in. There were 6 of us in total. Me, Ryan, Jake, Melissa, Tara, and Chris. We weren't all super close, but we knew each other well enough from college. The kind of group that works for trips. Loud, social, always down to do something. The place we booked was about 10 minutes from the main strip. Not directly on the beach, but close enough. The listing said quiet neighborhood, which at the time sounded like a good thing. Looking back, I don't think it was. We got there late, like almost midnight. The drive-in felt normal at first, busy streets, neon signs, people everywhere. But the closer we got to the house, the quieter it became. Fewer cars, fewer lights. Eventually, it was just long stretches of road with houses spaced far apart. Damn, Ryan said from the front seat, we're kinda out here. Relax, Jake laughed. It's probably nicer this way. Less noise, no one really questioned it. The house itself looked fine, 2 stories, white siding, small front porch, a little more worn down than the pictures, but nothing crazy. The kind of place that probably looked great in daylight. At night, though, it just felt darker than everything around it. Not creepy, just dim. We got inside, dropped our bags, did a quick walkthrough. Everything seemed normal. Kitchen, living room, bedrooms upstairs. Chris immediately claimed the couch. I'm not sharing a bed with any of you idiots. We laughed. It felt normal. Loud. Easy. The first night was exactly what you'd expect. We went out, crowded bars, music, people everywhere. Came back around 2:30 a.m., half drunk, talking too loud. That's when I first noticed it. There was a car parked across the street. Black sedan, lights off. At first I didn't think anything of it. Could have been a neighbor, someone visiting, whatever. But as we were walking up to the house, I remember glancing at it again, and I couldn't see anyone inside. No movement. No glow from a phone. Nothing. Just sitting there. Yo, whose car is that? I asked. Ryan looked over. Probably someone's. Why? I shrugged. Just weird. Lights are off. It's like 3 a.m., he said. Everyone's lights are off. Fair enough. We went inside. That night, nothing happened. At least nothing obvious. The next day was normal. Beach, drinks, music, the usual. But when we got back in the afternoon, the car was still there. Same spot, same angle. Okay, that's kind of weird, I said. Jake looked. Maybe they just haven't moved it for like 15 hours? He shrugged. Dude, you're overthinking. Maybe I was. That night, we stayed in, just drinking, playing music, talking. Around 1:30 a.m., someone knocked. It was soft, not aggressive, not loud, just 3 slow knocks. We all kind of paused. Chris looked up. You guys expecting someone? No, Melissa said. Ryan laughed. Probably drunk people at the wrong house. That made sense. It was spring break. Jay got up and opened the door. No one there. He leaned out, looked left, then right. Hello, nothing. See, Ryan said. Told you. Jake shut the door. We laughed it off. But I remember one thing. When Jake closed the door, he locked it. And I don't think he had locked it before. Later that night, I couldn't sleep. No reason really. Just one of those nights. Around 3 a.m., I heard something. Footsteps. Outside, not walking past. Stopping. Door. Right outside the house. I sat up, listening. Slow, quiet movement. Like someone pacing. I told myself it was nothing. Probably someone walking home. But it didn't sound like that. It sounded deliberate. I didn't check. I didn't go to the window. I just laid there until it stopped. The next morning, I didn't mention it. I don't even know why. Maybe because it sounded stupid in my head. But things kept adding up. That same car, still there, same exact spot. That's when even Chris noticed. Okay, that's been there since we got here, right? Yeah, I said. I told you guys. Ryan looked a little more serious this time. That is kinda weird. We started paying attention after that, not obsessively, just noticing. Every time we came back, the car was there. Every night. Every day. And once, I swear I saw someone inside. Just for a second. A silhouette in the driver's seat, then gone. Did you see that? I asked. No, Tara said. See what? Someone was in the car? Ryan looked. There's nobody there, bro. And there wasn't. That night, things changed. We came back earlier than usual. Around midnight, everyone was tired. No one really talking much. The house felt different. I don't know how to explain it, just off. Melissa stopped halfway inside. Did we leave the light on? Jah! The kitchen light was on. We all froze for a second. Ha! I thought we turned everything off, she said. We did, I said. Ryan walked in first. Probably forgot. But I knew we didn't. We checked everything. Nothing missing. Nothing broken. But one thing stood out. The back door. It wasn't locked. And I remembered locking it. Clearly. Okay, who opened this? I asked. No one answered. Jake tried to laugh it off. Dude, someone probably just forgot. But his voice wasn't convincing. That night, no one slept easily. Around 2:40 a.m., the knocking came back. Louder this time? What'd he back? Louder this time. Not polite. Not slow. 3 hard knocks. Everyone heard it. Don't open it, I said immediately. No one argued. We just stood there, listening. But this time, moving away. Toward the side of the house. Toward the back. Ryan whispered, someone's out there. We didn't check. We didn't move. We just waited. And then, silence. The next morning, we were all on edge. Even Jake. Even Ryan. Chris walked outside first. Then he stopped. Guys, we followed him. In the dirt just beside the house, there were footprints. Not ours. Coming from the street, wrapping around the side and stopping at the back door. Just ending there. No one said anything for a while. Then Ryan finally spoke. Okay, we're leaving tonight. No one disagreed. As we packed, I looked out the window one last time. The car was still there. But this time, I could see someone clearly, sitting in the driver's seat, watching the house. Not moving, just staring. We left within an hour. Didn't even clean up. Didn't care. As we drove away, I looked back. The car pulled out, slowly. Only for a minute, maybe less. Then it turned off. We didn't talk much after that. A few days later, Ryan messaged us. He had looked up the house. Apparently, the week before us, another group had stayed there. They left early, filed a report. Said someone had been watching them, trying to get in. The police never found anyone. In that car, no registration, no plates on record. Sometimes I still think about it, about how close they got, and how, if we had opened it that night, things could have gone very differently. I didn't pick the motel. If it were up to me, we would have stayed somewhere normal, clean, maybe a little expensive, but at least safe. But this was spring break, and by the time we booked anything, most places were already full. Prices were insane, and this was the only place that had enough rooms for all of us. Dude, it's fine, Ryan said when I hesitated. It's just a place to sleep. That was the logic. We weren't planning to stay inside much anyway. We're 5 of us. Me, Ryan, Leo, Jenna, and Kayla. We drove down together, about 6 hours, windows down, music loud, just excited to get there. And for the first couple hours after we arrived, it actually felt exactly how we imagined. Crowded streets, neon signs, music everywhere, people everywhere. It was loud, chaotic, alive. The motel was just a few blocks away from the main strip, close enough to walk. That was the selling point. But the moment we pulled into the parking lot, something felt off. It wasn't obvious, nothing dramatic, just the atmosphere. The building itself looked older than the photos, paint slightly peeling, lights dimmer than they should be, and the parking lot was quiet. Too quiet. Ryan parked and looked around. Looks kinda dead. Leo laughed. Good. That means we can sleep. But I remember thinking, it didn't feel like people were sleeping. It felt like people were watching. The front office had this old glass window, half covered with a curtain. We walked in, and the guy at the desk didn't greet us. He just stared. Late 40s maybe, thin, pale, didn't smile, didn't say anything at first. Ryan stepped forward. Yeah, we have a reservation. The guy slowly looked down at the computer, didn't ask our names, Didn't confirm anything, just started typing. The whole interaction felt wrong, not rude, just empty. When he handed us the keys, he finally spoke. Second floor. That's it. No explanation. No directions. Nothing. As we walked back out, Jenna whispered, "Okay, that guy was weird." "Yeah," I said. "Didn't even check anything." Ryan shrugged. "Relax, it's just a cheap place." But I kept thinking about the way he looked at us. Not like customers, like he already knew we were coming. Our rooms were side by side. Second floor facing the parking lot. The hallway outside smelled stale, like damp carpet and something faintly chemical. We dropped our stuff and immediately went out, didn't stay long enough to think about it. That night was normal. Bars, crowds, music. We got back around 2 a.m., tired, loud, just ready to crash. And that's when I noticed it. One of the rooms down the hallway was open. Just slightly, like not fully, but enough. And the light inside was on. I slowed down, looked at it. Something about it felt wrong. "What are you doing?" "That room," I said quietly. He glanced. "So? It's open." "Yeah, so what?" I didn't answer. Because I didn't know? It just felt wrong. We went inside our room, locked the door. Didn't talk about it. But later that night, I heard something. Voices. Not loud, not clear, but arguing. Coming from that direction. I checked the time, 3:12 a.m. Then a thud, like something hitting a wall. Then silence. I remember sitting there wondering if I should say something. But I didn't. Because what would I even say? Next morning, everything felt normal again. Bright daylight, people moving around, noise from outside, and there was no sign anyone had been there. "See?" Ryan said when I mentioned it. "Just drunk people." "Yeah," I said, but it didn't sit right. Later that day, we noticed something else. The windows. Some of them had people standing behind them, not moving, just watching. At first, I thought I was imagining it, but Jenna saw it too. Why are they just standing there? I looked up again. The same person was still there. Second floor, 2 doors down. "Maybe they're just looking out," Ryan said, but even he didn't sound convinced. That night, things got worse. We came back earlier, around midnight. The hallway was quiet, too quiet, and that same room was open again. This time a little wider. I slowed down again, looked inside. I didn't see everything, just enough. Someone was standing inside, near the back wall, and someone else was on the floor. I couldn't tell what was happening, but it didn't look normal. "Yo, keep walking," Leo said under his breath. I didn't argue. We went into our room, locked the door. "What did you see?" Jenna asked. I hesitated. "Something weird." "Dude, don't start. I'm serious." But no one really pushed it, because no one wanted to deal with it. Around 2 a.m., the knocking started, not on our door, on other doors. Down the hallway, slow, rhythmic, knock, pause, knock, pause, knock, pause. We all heard it. "Someone's messing around," Ryan said, but his voice was lower now. Then footsteps, moving from door to door, stopping, then moving again, and then it stopped outside ours. No one moved, no one spoke. 3 knocks, right on our door, not loud, but deliberate. "Don't open it," I said immediately. Silence. Then the handle moved, just slightly, like someone testing it. We all froze. "Hey," Ryan said loudly, forcing confidence. "Wrong room." No response. A few seconds passed. Then footsteps again, moving away. None of us slept after that. The next morning, we were quiet. No jokes, no arguing. Even Ryan looked off. "I don't like this place," Jenna said. No one disagreed this time. Cut the trip short. Didn't even care about the money. As we were packing, I noticed something. A small camera, mounted near the ceiling, pointing directly at our door. And when I looked closer, there were more. Down the hallway, at every angle. But not in a normal way. They weren't obvious, they were hidden. "This place isn't normal," I said. Ryan finally nodded. "Yeah, I think you're right." The door was closed. But just before we turned the corner, it opened. Slowly, slowly, and someone stepped out. Not rushing, not hiding, just watching us leave. I didn't look back again. Later that night, I looked the place up online. Reviews, reports. There were only a few, but one stood out. Felt unsafe? Staff watching guests. Strange activity at night. Left early. And another. Do not stay here. Something is wrong with this place. No details, just warnings. We never reported anything. We didn't have proof. But sometimes I think about that room, about what I saw, and about how close we were to being part of it. I didn't even realize when I got separated. That's the part that still bothers me. It wasn't like I wandered off on purpose or got into some argument or anything dramatic like that. One second I was with everyone. Loud music, people everywhere, Ryan yelling something I couldn't hear, and then the next, I was just alone. We'd been out for hours. One of those nights where everything kind of blends together. Different bars, different streets, same noise, same crowd. At some point, we ended up near the beach strip. Not the main one, but a little farther down where it was still busy, just less packed. I remember checking my phone. 1:47 a.m., battery at 9%. Yo, we heading back or what? I shouted. No one really answered, or maybe they did and I just didn't hear. That's when I realized I didn't see them. Ryan, Jenna, Chris, gone. At first, I didn't panic. That kind of thing happens on trips like this. People split up, meet later, whatever. I figured they were probably already heading back, so I pulled out my phone. Tried texting, no signal. Or maybe it was just slow. I don't know. I started walking. The streets were still alive at first, people laughing, music from open doors, cars moving slow through the crowd. Normal. But the further I went, the quieter it got. The lights got dimmer, fewer people, fewer open places. I checked my phone again. 4%. All right, I muttered, just get back. I pulled up the map. It took a second to load, then it froze, then it loaded halfway. I didn't want to stand there waiting, so I started walking again. At some point, I realized I didn't recognize where I was. Not completely, just enough to feel off. The street looked similar to the one we came from, but not exactly. The buildings were lower, older. Some of the lights were out. I slowed down, looked around, tried to remember. Did we come this way? That's when I heard it. Footsteps, behind me. Not close, but clear. I kept walking, didn't turn around. A few seconds later, they stopped. I slowed down, they didn't start again. I turned slightly, not fully, just enough to glance. There was someone there, walking. Nothing unusual, just a guy, maybe mid-30s. Hands in his pockets. I looked away, kept moving. Relax, I told myself. It's nothing. I turned the next corner. The street got quieter. No music now. No people. Just a few parked cars and dim streetlights. I checked my phone again. 1%. Of course. I tried sending one more message. Didn't go through. Then the screen went black. I stood there for a second, just staring at it. Then I slipped it back into my pocket. And that's when I heard it again. Footsteps. Behind me. Same rhythm. Same distance. I turned this time, fully. The same guy. Still walking. Same pace. I stared for a second. He didn't react. Didn't look at me. Just kept walking. I turned back. Coincidence, I said out loud. I picked up my pace. A little faster now. Turned another corner. This street was worse. Darker. Only one streetlight working. Everything else, shadow. I walked under it, looked ahead. Nothing. Looked behind. He turned the corner. Same distance, same pace. That's when something shifted. Not panic, not yet, just awareness. Okay. I crossed the street. He didn't. For a second, I felt stupid. See? Nothing. But then he crossed too. Same angle, same timing. Toffing. I kept walking. Faster now. The street opened up ahead. I could see a gas station maybe 2 blocks away. Lights on. Just get there, I thought. I didn't look back this time, but I could hear it, footsteps, still behind me, like he knew I knew, and didn't care. I turned left, didn't even think about it, just turned. The gas station disappeared behind the buildings. Why did I do that? I stopped for a second. That's when the footsteps stopped too. I froze. Slowly, I turned my head. It was closer now. I turned my head. He was closer now. Not right behind me, but closer. And this time he was looking at me. Not aggressively, not smiling, just watching. I looked away immediately. My heart started going. Not full panic, but that low, steady pressure. Wrong turn, I thought. Just go back. I turned around, started walking the other way. Toward him. He stepped aside slightly. Let me pass. Didn't say anything. I didn't look at him. I just kept walking. Then toward the main street. Back toward the light. But when I got there, the gas station was closed. Lights off. Doors locked. Doors locked. I stopped. Stared at it. Are you serious? I pulled on the handle. Locked. I turned around. He was there again. Not as far this time. And now, there was a car. Parked on the side of the road. Engine running. Lights off. Ha! I hadn't noticed it before. The guy slowed near it. Didn't get in. Just stood there. Looking at me. That's when it clicked. This wasn't random. I backed away. Slowly. Turned. And walked faster. Turned back faster. Then, I started running. I didn't care where I was going anymore. I just needed people, noise, anything. I turned another corner. Another empty street. Come on. I kept running, breathing hard now. Then I heard it. A car door, calling, behind me. I didn't look. I just ran. My legs were starting to burn, my chest tight. Another corner. And then voices, distant, but real. I followed them, turned one more time. And suddenly there were people. A small group outside a late-night diner. Lights on, music inside. I didn't stop. I walked straight toward them. Tried to act normal. One of them looked at me. Yo, you good? Yeah, I said quickly. Yeah, I said quickly. Yeah. I turned slightly. The street behind me was empty. No guy. No car. Nothing. I stood there for a while, longer than I needed to. Eventually, I found my way back. Asked for directions. Kept busy streets. When I got to the house, everyone was already there. Where were you? Ryan asked. Got lost, I said. I didn't tell them everything. Not right away, because part of me still thought maybe I was overreacting. But later that night, when I finally tried to sleep, I kept thinking about it. About the way he followed, the way he crossed the street, the way he waited. And that car. Sitting there, engine running, lights off. I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't found that diner. I don't know how close I actually got, but I know one thing. That wasn't random, and I wasn't just being paranoid, because the next morning I walked past that same street, in daylight, and that car was still there, but now I could see the inside clearly. The back seat was covered with something dark, something I didn't want to look at too long, so I didn't. And I never went out alone again. We picked the house because it was cheap. That's honestly the whole reason. Everything closer to the beach, or even just near the main strip, was either booked or way out of our budget. But this place, it was almost suspiciously affordable. Dude, it's literally a whole house, Ryan said, scrolling through the listing. 5 bedrooms, backyard, everything. For that price? That's insane. It's also like 10 minutes out, Jenna pointed out. Yeah, 10 minutes is nothing. Looking back, it wasn't the distance that mattered. It was everything around it. There were 6 of us. Me, Ryan, Jenna, Chris, Leo, and Kayla. Same group we traveled with before. Loud, easygoing, not the type to get scared over small stuff. Which is probably why we stayed longer than we should have. We got there just before sunset. The drive started normal. Busy roads, traffic, beach shops, people everywhere. But once we passed the main area, everything changed. The road got narrower. Streetlights got farther apart. Houses got fewer. Are we sure this is right? Kayla asked from the back. Ryan checked his phone. Yeah, it's like 2 minutes ahead. 2 minutes felt longer than it should have. When we finally pulled up, no one said anything for a second. The house was there, but it didn't look like the pictures. Not completely different, just older. The paint looked dull. The porch light was on, but barely, and the area around it was empty. No neighboring houses close enough to see clearly. No street noise, no movement. Okay, Chris said slowly. This is kinda out here. Ryan forced a laugh. That's the point. Privacy. But privacy didn't feel like the right word. It felt like distance. We got out. The air felt different. Cooler. Still. No wind, no sound. Just quiet. The inside was better. Clean enough. Spacious. Still a little worn, but nothing too bad. We dropped our bags, explored a bit, opened windows, turned on lights, trying to make it feel normal. See, Ryan said. Not bad at all. And for a while, it wasn't. We went out that night, came back around 1:30, tired, a little drunk, not really paying attention. Not open, just slightly pushed in. I stopped, stared at it. Did we leave it like that? I asked. Ryan shrugged. Probably. I was the last one out and push it. I just walked in. Everything looked fine. Nothing missing, nothing broken. So I let it go. That night, I woke up around 3 a.m. No reason, just awake. I laid there for a minute, listening. That's when I heard it. Like something moving across the ground. Not footsteps exactly, more like dragging. I sat up, held my breath. It stopped. I waited. I waited. Nothing. Eventually, I laid back down, told myself it was nothing. But I didn't sleep well after that. The next morning felt normal again. Sunlight, noise, everyone laughing. Until we went outside. Chris was the first to notice. Shh, was the one. Yo, what is that? We all walked over. In the dirt near the side of the house, there were marks. Long, uneven lines. Like something had been dragged. Leading toward the back. Probably animals, Ryan said. Yeah, I said, but it didn't look like that. It looked heavier. That night, things got worse. We stayed in, just music, drinks, talking. Around midnight, the power flickered. Okay, that's creepy, Jenna said. Shh, relax, Ryan laughed. Old house, but I noticed something. The back porch light was on. We hadn't turned it on. Did someone go outside? I asked. No, Leo said. We all looked at each other. Then Ryan walked to the back door, opened it. Nothing. But the light was definitely on. He turned it off, locked the door. This place is just weird, Jenna muttered. Later that night, the knocking started. Not loud. 3 soft knocks on the back door. We all heard it. No one moved. Probably the wind, Ryan said. There was no wind. Nary another 3 knocks. Same pattern. I stood up. Don't, Jenna said immediately. Outside. Moving along the wall. Slow. Ha 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 ha. Deliberate, Chris whispered. Someone's out there. No one argued. We didn't open the door. We just sat there listening. Eventually, it stopped. No one slept that night. The next morning, we were all quiet. Ryan tried to act normal. Guys, it's nothing. Just paranoia. But even he didn't sound convinced anymore. He checked outside again. More marks. Footprints this time. Stopping near the back door. No prints leaving. That's when it hit me. Someone was here, I said. No one was there. I said no one laughed this time. That afternoon, we noticed something else. A car. Parked down the road. Far enough to not be obvious. Close enough to see. Engine off. Same spot for hours. Do you guys see that? I asked. Ryan nodded slowly. Yeah, that night, we didn't go out. We locked everything. Closed all the curtains. Around 2:15 a.m., we heard it again. Knocking. Hard, hard, on the front door. Everyone froze. Don't answer it, I said. The knocking came again. More aggressive. The knacking made me like someone trying to open it. Jenna started crying quietly. Call someone, she whispered. No signal, Chris said. The handle stopped. Silence. Then footsteps. Moving around the house, to the side, to the back. We heard something near the window. A faint sound, like fingers against the glass. I couldn't move. No one could. We just sat there waiting. After a while, it stopped. Completely. No footsteps, no sound. No sound. Nothing. We didn't sleep. We left at sunrise. Didn't pack properly. Didn't clean. Didn't care. As we were driving away, I looked back. The house looked normal again. Quiet, still. We never reported it. Didn't know what to say. But a few days later, Ryan sent a message. He had checked the listing. It had been taken down. No explanation. Just gone. And sometimes I still think about that night. About those footsteps, about that door handle, and about how close they got, because they weren't just outside. They were checking, testing, waiting for us to make one mistake. The hotel looked exactly how you'd expect a spring break hotel to look. Too bright, too loud, too full. From the moment we pulled into the circular driveway, it felt like we were stepping into something already in motion. Music echoing from balconies, people yelling across floors, cars pulling in and out like it never stopped. "All right, this is it," Ryan said, already grinning. Chris leaned forward from the back seat. "This is going to be insane." And for the first few hours, it was. The lobby alone felt like a party. People everywhere. Groups checking in, others already drunk, someone arguing at the front desk, someone else laughing way too loud. It was chaotic, but in that normal, expected way. We checked in, got our key cards, made our way up to the 6th floor. The hallway smelled like sunscreen, alcohol, and something faintly sour. Doors slamming, music leaking through walls, people moving constantly. "Perfect," Ryan said. "Exactly what we wanted." Our room overlooked the pool, which basically meant we weren't sleeping much. We dropped our stuff and immediately went down. The pool area was worse, or better depending on how you look at it. Music blasting, lights reflecting off the water, people everywhere, no space to think, no space to be alone. And that's probably why I didn't notice anything at first, because everything already felt overwhelming. It wasn't until later that night that things started to feel different. We came back around 2 a.m., tired, sweaty, still buzzing from everything. The hallway was quieter than before, not silent, just less. I remember that clearly, because after hours of constant noise, that kind of drop feels strange. As we walked toward our room, I noticed someone standing near the vending machines. A guy, mid-30s maybe, not drunk, not talking, just standing there, looking down the hallway. At first, I didn't think anything of it, but as we got closer, he looked directly at us. Not casually, not the way people normally glance at each other. He held it for a second too long, then looked away. "Yo, that guy's weird," I muttered. Ryan glanced back. "Who?" "Vending machine." Ryan looked again, then shrugged. "Probably just waiting for someone." "Maybe." We went inside, locked the door, didn't talk about it again. Next day was the same chaos. Beach, drinks, noise. Thought I saw him again. Different place, same hotel. This time near the elevators. Standing off to the side, watching, not just us, people. But when his eyes landed on me, he didn't look away. I felt it immediately. That same feeling from the night before. "Do you know that guy?" Jenna asked. "No." "Huh, he's been here since we came down." "Huh." I didn't answer, because now I was noticing it too. He wasn't part of anything. Not partying, not talking, just there. Later that afternoon, something else happened. We were heading back to the room when a different guy stopped us near the stairwell. "Hey," he said casually, "you guys staying on this floor?" Ryan nodded. "Yeah, nice," the guy said. "What room?" Ryan added. Why? Just curious," he said, smiling. "Too quickly. Too easily." I stepped in. "Why do you need to know?" He held up his hands. "Relax, man. Just making conversation." But not before glancing back. That one felt worse. Oh, Okay, that was weird, Jenna said. Yeah, I said quietly. People are just drunk. But neither of those guys looked drunk. That night, everything shifted. We stayed out later than usual. Came back around 3 a.m. Man, the hallway was almost empty. Too empty. No music, no voices, just silence. As we walked toward our room, I saw him again. The first guy, not directly in front of it, just a few feet away, looking at his phone, or pretending to. Not my stomach dropped. Don't say anything, I whispered. We kept walking. He didn't move, didn't look up, but I could feel it, that awareness, that he knew we were there. Ryan unlocked the door. We went inside quickly. No one spoke for a second. Was that the same guy? Jenna asked. Yeah, I said. Ryan finally looked uneasy. Okay, that's kind of weird. Chris checked the peephole. He's gone. To a tree. It didn't make it better. Around 4 a.m., someone tried the door. Not knocking, just the handle. Turning. Slowly. Slashing it slowly, sleepy. Testing it. We all froze. Hello? Ryan called out. No response. The handle stopped. The handle stopped. Whatting away. We didn't sleep. None of us. The next morning, everything felt wrong. Too bright. Too normal. Like nothing had happened. We went down for breakfast. And that's when I saw something that I still can't fully explain. I had the front desk, the same guy, talking to the staff, calm, relaxed. Salmiku? I watched for a second. Then I saw him glance over at me and smile. Not friendly, just knowing. Not friendly, just knowing. That's when it clicked. This wasn't random. Later that day, we decided to leave early. Topped, didn't tell anyone, didn't wait, just packed and left. On the way out, I asked the front desk something. Hey, the guy that was here earlier, does he work here? The woman looked confused. What guy? I pointed. He was just standing there. No one's been there except me. That didn't make sense, but I didn't argue. We left, and I tried to forget about it. Until later that night, Ryan sent a message. He had checked the booking details, and something didn't match. There had been an attempt to access our room. Right after we heard the handle. And the card wasn't ours, and it wasn't registered to any guest. We never found out who it was, but I still think about that moment. Him standing outside our door, like he was waiting, like he already knew which room was ours, and how close he got, because if that door hadn't been locked, we wouldn't have had time to react.